Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. Every week I share a vlog on my website. Um, my name is Dustin and I am in my late 30s. I am autistic and I have other mental health challenges, along with living independently on my own for over 6 years and working part-time. Actually, and I have 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I want to make a special note of thanks for that today, because without you, it would not keep the process going. I've been doing vlogs for over 4 years now, since COVID started, and I'm always trying to find something new every week and trying to find a good topic to bring to you in a vlog. And sometimes I don't think of it the best way. And sometimes it's just part of life and what is going on in life. And life seems to be busy, especially this year with everything going on. But we always find a time to do a nice little vlog every week. And it is you that keeps essentially my life going, because um, it's that isolation time that is the hardest, especially when you live on your own as an autistic person, to not want to relapse, um, not want to cause friction with others, not to be needy or, try to be too much of a social person. Even though being a social person can be a good thing in a decent way. But I think having the blog and the vlog for over 4 years now is really not only it's just something that I feel I should do, and there may be future plans. So stick along, keep subscribing, and we'll keep that content coming. So, without further ado, I will get into this week's topic. So, it's about caring for you, having your needs met. Sometimes, as autistic people, we don't always understand the why and the how behind why our bodies are the way they are and why we react to things, or maybe our personal needs aren't met, and we can't tell that all the time. There's a term out there, it's called interoception. We have a hard time as autistic people determining that, the reason we are reacting the way we are reacting to things, or why we're overstimulated, or why, we're not feeling ourselves, is because we're not ourselves. We're not having our needs met. Um, you know, and I've learned this a lot over the last 4 years. And I'm better at recognizing that I need to take care of myself, and make sure that my personal needs are met before conquering any big business, so to speak, or anything that requires more attention of myself. I don't, it's not that it's a bad thing, and it's not that, you know, it's just sometimes as an autistic human being, I don't recognize certain things that I need to do. And there's plenty of those things, that you don't recognize because you don't it's not that you don't know how to do them. It's not that your body is not transmitting a signal to do them. And sometimes as autistic people, we get hyper focused in things that we enjoy, that we have our interest and are very passionate about an interest, and or we have an inability to stop and take care of our needs. Sometimes it's the simplest things. It may be, needing to get a bite to eat, or get something to drink, maybe just some water, or, use the restroom even, because sometimes those signals in our body don't register. And that's what interoception is. It's where the signals don't register. And there have been times where, I will go for hours upon hours and not use the restroom, or I will not get something to eat because I just don't think I need it. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just when I don't take care of things, I'm more irritable. I want to react. I'm easily triggered to react to situations that that I may be overly sensitive to. I may, may not take the precautions to care for my mental health in the way that I need to, or understand things that I need to understand with a full sense of logic and a full sense of mind because I'm just not there. It's all like a fog. It's very complicated, but it's the simple things that we do. It's taking care of ourselves and understanding those needs. And I think there are times I do understand that I need to take care of those needs, and I'm better at it, but not everybody is that way. And things happen, and sometimes things happen to the point where it becomes too late. It's an issue, and it can cause oneself to be in a meltdown or reacting in a negative manner, towards others, and not being the person that you can be. That can be hard. It can be challenging to others, and then it just skyrockets into a whole scene that is not necessary. And that's the hard thing, I think, when a meltdown happens or we react negatively or inappropriate towards something, and we have to take responsibility for those actions. Um, it can be very hurtful, and to us, we feel ashamed. We feel ashamed for the way we reacted. It's very difficult when the dust settles from the meltdown, from the reacting negatively, and we have to think over and over again. And it does play over and over again. The way we acted, the things we said, the things we did, they just play over and over again. And it can be hard to let that go because you've never really made peace with it. And you feel like crap. I'm just going to say it for what it is. You feel like crap because you feel like it could have been prevented by things such as taking care of yourself, that it wouldn't have been surmounted into this monstrosity of an issue because it could have been easily prevented. And I have a little acronym here that makes it very simple when you think about things. It's the HALT acronym, and it's well versed on the web. Many autism advocates use it and they talk about it. And I've learned very different variations and trainings at work and stuff. But for the majority of the sake of caring for oneself, it's HALT, HALT. And I had to write it down because I didn't want to forget the words. But the first one is hungry. And sometimes often we just need a snack. I remember a lot of times, I don't watch TV now, but when I watched TV at home with my parents, I would remember, but there's the Snickers commercials, and they have these people. Betty White, God rest her, she was a great actor, and she portrayed that she was miserable and moody because I didn't have her little treat or her little snack. And sometimes, it's just getting some water or just getting something to fill the body, because the body is thriving off of very little energy, and we're not, as autistic people, like I said previously, um, we're not recognizing that. And it's not just that, it's the fact that we don't recognize, like I said earlier, the need to use the restroom, the need to just get water and just, you know, get some fresh air even. We're not we have a less inability to recognize those things because of the lack of interoceptive skills. And it's important to work on that. It's important to understand when you need to take care of yourself. The next one is angry. And are you angry? What are you angry about? And for me, and I'm almost 40 years old. I don't talk about that a lot on here, but I'm almost 40 years old, and it's still today. I have, until recently, I have learned that it is best to just say what I'm angry about. Don't dance around the bush about it. Don't make puns. Don't make sly, vindictive, nasty, rhetorical questions. Just say it. Just say what you're angry about. Why are you angry? Why are you upset? Is there a way that it can be coped easier? Is there a coping skill that you can learn? And I'm still learning my own coping skills. I'm working on that at day services. I am working on finding coping skills that are more working for me that are going to work. And that's a whole different story. But as far as you need to get that anger out sometimes, and it needs to be in a healthy manner and done in the way that it needs to be done. And sometimes you are angry. Sometimes you need to talk to a friend. And that's the next one. But, you know, it's about finding that peace and letting go of that energy that you're building up. Sometimes it's anxiety, the adrenaline, the cortisol builds up, and it's you got to get that energy out. Um, the next one is L, lonely, and sometimes we are lonely. We don't realize it. We don't realize that we're lonely. It's hard to recognize it. I sit sometimes in denial that I'm lonely. Sometimes I do seek friendship. Sometimes I seek to message someone. Sometimes I seek that way, but maybe because I'm feeling lonely, like nobody understands what I'm dealing with. Nobody understands the scenario that I have to operate, even though, that was the way I used to feel, and it has gotten better. But maybe that's something, that you need to work on and say, maybe that'll make me feel better and not so much like an angry person. The last one is tired. You know, get some sleep. There is nothing wrong with getting sleep. It's very important. Autism, 40% of autistic people, over a third or 40%, I can't remember the exact number there, but they struggle with sleep. And that's no lie. Autistic people often struggle with sleep. Growing up, I struggled with sleep a lot. Um, you know, I had to be given medicine to help me to sleep. And, that was something until recently that I had thought was something, that was a childhood thing that to shut me up, to not, to keep my problems. And what I had learned over time after relapsing and whatnot, that it was hurting me. And it caused concern in many others. And, there's nothing, I mean, everybody has their own opinion about medicine. But, maybe you do need to take a nap. Maybe you do need to sleep. You need that good sleep. Maybe because you're not getting the sleep you need, you're cranky. And sometimes it takes just caring for you. And you have to care for yourself in the way that you see fit. Um, you know, I was cleaning through emails at work last week and from an old colleague that had passed away a year ago. Very inspirational person. And what they had said to me, when we talk about self-care, and I'm figuring out what self-care is and what forms of self-care work for me. But one of the things that they said in this email was saying no is a form of self-care. And we're in the holiday season and there's 20 million things to do and there's parties and just celebrations. Sometimes there's celebrations and there's parties, especially to autistic people, are just way too much for us. Too much overstimuli, just too much going on. And it's okay to say no to things that are just too much. And we need to be okay with saying no to things. Some things you just can't get out of. And it's not that you can't get out of them, that it's important to do. Last week, well, or this past week, I had my niece's chorus concert, and it's the last year she's in middle school, and I just figured I didn't really want to go. I was very irritable about it. but I took the time and I went. And it was a very good thing that I did, and I'm very proud of myself that I did it. That was a win for me this past week. Sometimes you have to take the time to do things. Sometimes you have to care for yourself after those things. If it means getting extra sleep or taking time to do something that you enjoy, finding that self-care that you need. Somebody had asked me, what is, what do you do for self-care? What do I do for self-care? And I had to think for a minute because I mean, I know some things I do, but it just like I didn't see them as that. And sometimes we have to admit that we have to take care of ourselves. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of others. And we can't do the things that as autistic people that when we have a life that is so overwhelming and the world around us that is so overabundant with too much stuff, it's hard to do the things that require more energy from us. And having that extra downtime, the self-care, you have to find what that is, and you have to find what works for you. And if you need that time, do not be jealous. Do not be upset. Do not be angry. Do it. Take the time to do things, to care for yourself, to make memories. I have learned that too. It is important to make memories when you have the time to relax and do so, because you never know when you are not promised tomorrow. You never know how much things can change in an instant. I've had a lot of that this year where things have just changed in an instant, or things, it's too late to do things. And somebody that I had known had an obituary, take the time. And you are it is very important to take the time for family and care for and be with those that you love and care for. Now, granted, not everybody has that situation, but if you have that situation, it's very important to do that. That too is a part of self-care. It's very important. And especially around the holidays, as we're approaching them, it's very important to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't navigate the world, you can't take care of others, you can't be there for others, and you can't navigate the world, as the world is very complicated. So, with that being said, I feel I've addressed enough of the situation. I feel that I've given you enough content this week to think about. It's going to be a good week. We're getting into holiday parties this week. I'm having a little more extra self-care this week. Getting things that I need for myself, but I'm going to take the time and I'm going to enjoy the time that I have for myself. I'm going to do what I need to do to be well. I'm going to enjoy the time that I have with the colleagues, the coworkers, the people that I spend the majority of my time with, and be proud of the opportunity that I have. So with that being said, I did say earlier that I would, if you like this content and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe. We just hit 100 subscribers, and I want to thank each one of you for subscribing. It really means a lot to me. If you haven't already, be sure to like me on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Pinterest. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. I'm on the web. That address is www.dustinsdynastyusa.com. And lastly, I have a link tree with all my podcast platforms, all my all my websites, all my socials, and that handle on Linktree is Dustin's Dynasty. Again, let's have a good week. Take care of yourself. Take time for you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.